Welcome back to All Chat. I don't know. It's been forever at this point.
Yeah,
We've been
it's
busy people.
been like maybe three weeks. I think we did a post first stand debrief. Did we? Did we?
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. I don't know. We've been slacking a little bit. We've
Oh,
been busy. Life's been coming at you fast recently.
springtime. Yeah, springtime's always pretty busy.
Yeah,
So
I got a
it's
new job. I'm working
yeah,
on moving in a month. Like we got stuff going on.
some
So
real life shit going on. So
yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
league has to take the back seat. You know.
Yeah, so I've done not a great job of staying up to date with League recently, just because of all the stuff I've had going on. But Grayson has kept up a fair bit. So today, it's kind of going to be more of him talking me through what's going on and me reacting, I think. So I know a little bit. I've seen some standings, but I don't know too much.
Yeah, it's gonna be me doing my best to give you an update, but
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes. I've been watching mainly LCK and LPL, but
Okay.
been tuning into a little bit of LEC, a little bit of LTA. So
Cool.
do our best here. But yeah,
Man, it seems like from everything I've seen that the LTA is in rough shape right now in terms of viewership. Because I've seen some stuff online saying that it's not breaking like 40K viewers or something
mm,
like that across YouTube and Twitch. That's pretty rough.
yeah, I couldn't tell you how the viewership is. I don't think it's doing too hot just because of the BL1s right now and the scheduling, everything
Right.
that's going on. It feels like the marketing for the LTA just isn't there either, you know?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter a fair amount, and I feel like I just don't see that much stuff about the LTA. Like I see players saying stuff after games, but
Mhm.
I'm not seeing like maybe I'm just like not getting that content as much on Twitter now, but like I just feel like I'm not seeing a lot of like game announcements and like I don't know, like hype threads or like I just don't see that stuff coming up as much.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I feel like it's almost my own due diligence to kind of keep up with the LTA. Like I haven't seen anything on Twitter, quite honestly.
Yeah.
It's really just been me tuning into one-off games, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like, oh, what Lions actually doing pretty good, or
I
like, oh,
I knew
Umpty's
you were
still
gonna bring them
ass.
up.
Yeah,
He's still bad.
yeah.
I knew you were gonna bring up Lions because I saw that they're 3-1 alongside like FlyQuest, Cloud9, and is TL also 3-1?
I
Or
think
no, FlyQuest is 4-0, and then Cloud9 and TL are 3-1 or something.
I think so. Yeah, and then Lion's up there too, and then I think
Yeah,
100 Thieves is 2-2,
yeah.
and
So
then the
that's
rest are all like oh over.
oh something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to look into that because I was like, no way Lions is this good. And they've only beaten the three bottom teams
Yeah.
so far. So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, it's maybe a little skewed. I'm guessing what we're gonna see is as soon as they start playing the other top teams, they'll just move to the top of the bottom teams, if that makes sense. They'll be
Yeah.
fifth or whatever.
Yeah. No, that's where I'm seeing them. I think they have upset potential, maybe finishing top 4,
Yeah.
but the strength of schedule, that's been their calling card so far. But they look a lot better as a team.
That's
Uh
good.
Saint Saint and Henna actually look nasty. Licorice looks good.
Oh hell yeah.
Audieland, yeah, Licorice has been kind of smurfing, not gonna lie.
Dude, that's my
Um
boy. I love that guy.
yeah, yeah. But it's kind of been the Saint show. Like Saint's really the one driving this team. Definitely needed some transition time, I think, into North America. But he's been playing really well. Henna's been playing really well. And even like Audieland, he's been playing really well actually around Licorice, around Saint. Um, they played a pretty decent game against TL too. So
Mm,
it's one of those things where I'm not really sure where to rank them, but they look miles above those bottom 3 teams. So I don't think it's
interesting.
fair to put them in the bottom 4 conversation anymore.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I thought that Shopify was going to be at the top of that, just because they have like the fudge contracts Palafox top
Mhm.
side, and that seems on paper pretty solid to me. So I thought that they were going to be at like the top of those teams, but it's cool to see that Lions is doing something.
Yeah.
So
So it's really it's FlyQuest region to lose. FlyQuest and C9. Um,
yeah,
those are definitely the two teams right now. I think 100 Thieves and TL are kind of interchangeable 3-4.
Okay.
TL has been pretty reliant on Yon to play well, which is, sounds pretty familiar.
A little bit. A little
Yeah,
bit.
but could just be a regular season thing. Could just be a one thing right now. But kind of hard to tell with LTA North. Haven't been too happy with DSG and Dig, even Shopify. Not too happy with them so far. But the surprises really have been, I guess, C9 and Lion.
Yeah. You know what's funny about the LTA is that I was just talking about how I haven't seen like really any content about the LTA. The thing that I've seen the most, I think, is the beef between XU and Dig, because XU is on Disguise now, and
Uh-huh.
I just keep seeing content about him just like shitting on Dig and just being like, Dig is the worst team in the league. They're absolutely terrible. Like they're not good for anything, because he was on Dig and got
Yeah.
kicked before, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's like the most content that I've seen is XU just shitting on Dig constantly. Which is funny because they're both, I think,
Both
04,
bad.
right?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Just yelling at the wind at that point.
Yeah, fucking old man yells at the sky. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean that it hasn't been the best go for both DSG and Dig.
Yeah,
In my notes, I just have ... for both of them, just because it hasn't been a good split for them so far.
yeah,
And just all around, I feel like some teams have definitely taken a step back from what we're expecting, but it's the teams up top like FlyQuest. C9's been a team that I'm kind of following a little bit closer now. Like looking at them, Thanatos has been really sick, but Sven and Loki, those are the two guys. Sven has been unreal,
oh
actually.
really,
I
dude?
think he's
That's
gone.
so sick.
Yeah, I think he's gone deathless in like his last 3 games. I get like last 3 BO1s, right? But still, it's pretty good.
Crazy.
And then and Loki just looks like he's fitting in pretty seamlessly. Probably another takes a little while to get transitioned over, but
Yeah,
I think the chem over on C9 is pretty solid right now. And
that's
so
sick.
that's one thing to know. I know you'll be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say like I don't have a lot more to say about LTA. I know that we have like more to talk about for the LCK and LPL, but the only thing for me is I want to see Cloud9 do well. I mean, I always want to see him do well, but just from what I've heard surrounding the team, it sounds like they're in a position to do some pretty serious damage. It seems like FlyQuest are kind of the team to beat, like you said. Like they own the region right now, and I want to see TL be good, but I want to see TL be good. Like I don't want to see them go to another international event and disappoint me.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy for them to be top of the region, but then I want them to be good.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they're not gonna be, I would rather just see like Cloud9 up there. I mean, I would again Cloud9 fanboy. Like I would love to see Cloud9 be winning the region and all that, but like I'm good with TL going to internationals and that kind of thing. If they're gonna stop saying we got you on the next one, like,
Yeah.
I don't want to
How
be
many
got
has
on the
it
next
been?
one. Yeah, get me on this one.
Yeah.
Like, can we top an international at some point, please? I don't know. So, I'm beefing with TL a little bit, but whatever. I don't have much more of a take than that.
I definitely have a lot more faith in FlyQuest or C9 doing more damage if they were to go to international at this point right now with
Yeah.
how they're playing. But yeah, I don't have much else. Lions is a team to watch.
Okay.
Watch out for Saint and Henna. Liquor, honestly, top to bottom, they all look really good.
Sweet.
So I'm curious to see how they stack up against a team like FlyQuest, like a C9.
Yeah.
But I thought they weren't outplayed by Team Liquid when they played them. So if that says anything, maybe we're looking at like a 1-2 and then a 3-4-5 with 100 Thieves, TL, and Lions. But even 100 Thieves, they always have upset potential in their books too. So they took down C9 first game of the season, but since then haven't looked as dominant. They play their scrappy game where they just try to drag it out and throw it half the time. So yeah, we'll see how everything plays out. But I think we're going to be transitioning out of BO1s too for LTA North slowly here.
Please God.
Yeah. So we'll get an even better idea as that starts to come along.
Yeah. One quick last thing. What do you think about the FlyQuest 6-man roster?
Yeah, I've seen that, but they haven't actually done anything with that
They
yet.
haven't played him yet. The new guy, I forget his name. He's sharing a spot
I
with
forget
Whippo.
to. Maybe there's going to be some benefits of that come internationals, maybe.
Yeah.
But we
I
have
don't,
yet to see when they're just playing the BO1s right now. And I don't know much about the guy that they picked up, but down to his name, I don't know. I don't even know.
I know. From what they've said on like social media, what I've seen is they feel like there's a pretty significant tactical advantage to having like actually playing a 6-man roster and having
Mhm.
multiple players in one role just because of Fearless and
Yeah.
having players with two different strengths.
Mhm.
And I think that that's probably partially true, and it's probably partially true that they want to have someone, they want to invest in someone to replace Bwipo, because it sounds like he might be moving towards retirement at this point, which is
Mm.
kind of crazy to me because I know he's been around for a while now, but Bwipo still, I don't know
His
why I think this.
performance isn't
Well,
bad.
yeah, he's still a really good player, but
Yeah.
also like he's, in my head, he's a newer player in the scene, even though he's not. Like he's been
Okay.
around
Yeah.
because he went to Worlds Finals with Fnatic in like 2018, right? So it's been 7 years since that, 6.5 years, whatever. So he's not a new player, but in my
Mhm.
head, he's still like on the newer side. I don't know why he is, but I think Whippo might be making that transition towards retirement, probably coaching. I would guess he's going to go into coaching, and I
Yeah.
would bet they're trying to invest in someone while they have Whippo as a player. Invest
To
in
kind of
someone to take
yeah.
over.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, if anything, CFO's 6-man roster that probably impacted some of their decision making as well. And then, like you said, Bwipo wanting to transition maybe towards retirement coaching. It definitely feels like, the rumors last year, right, were that Jojo Pune was going to go top for FlyQuest and Bwipo was going to like personally coach him, right?
right,
Or at least
right.
they were trying to do that. So maybe it's
I
been in the
forgot about
works for
that.
a while and they just haven't been able to find the right piece yet, but they must have found their
Yeah,
guy. So
maybe
we'll
he's
see
just
how.
that guy.
Yeah, but Bwipo's been one of the more fun players in LTA as well, just with his picks. He brought out the Yorick top, and that turned a lot of heads, and we're seeing that in other regions now too. Like saw it in LPL. I think I saw it in LCK as well. But it's he
That's goaded.
he has a way with the meta, and he's definitely smart about the game. So,
Yeah, yeah. No, Whippo is solid for sure.
but yeah, interesting to say the least from LTA how everything's going to play out.
Yeah,
But they play so little amount of games; it's so hard to get a gauge. Whereas compared to like LPL, LCK, even LEC, a lot of these teams have played multiple BO3 series, so we do have a pretty good grasp at some of these other teams.
yeah. Talk to me about
Um,
another region. Pick whatever you're feeling and talk to me because I don't know that much about what's going on in the other regions.
Yeah, so we can go to LEC really quick.
Yeah,
I haven't been able to watch too much LEC. It's it's really weird this region because there's been a lot of roster changes that might have been slept on. SK is somehow doing really good. Well,
really.
a lot better than we probably would have predicted them to start the split. They're 2-2, and they took a 2-0 over Fnatic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But then Fnatic's over here beating KC, and then G2's just 3-0. It's like the whole region's just all over the place.
it's gonna be one of those things where it's like, oh, it looks really interesting. Every team can beat every team, and then in like a month, it's just gonna be like, oh, it's just a G2 region again. It's just every time. Oh, it's really interesting. Maybe it's this team that's the best. Maybe it's this team it's the best. Oh, maybe Fnatic are good. Maybe they're bad. Maybe KC is good. Maybe they're bad. Maybe SK is on the up and up. And then in the end, it doesn't matter, and it's just G2 again.
See, the thing is, though, they're playing BO3s, right? So it's you get a little bit more out of what you're watching, right? Because before it'd be best of ones, and we're just like, oh, yeah, they beat those guys. They beat them. Oh, who knows?
Yeah.
But we're getting, 2-0s from SK over Fnatic. We're getting 2-1s played out where Fnatic's beating KC. G2, I don't think has lost a game, but
Good. Well,
and then
did they just 2-0 3 teams?
Yeah, pretty sure.
Sweet.
Oh no, okay, they went 2-1 versus Koi.
Oh, okay.
And
interesting.
Koi's been looking really good. I think Fearless is great for both G2 and Koi with their top laners. Miran played like an 807 Varus game a couple days ago, or maybe it was yesterday. Just all over the place with the LEC as usual.
Yeah.
It feels like GX might be the worst team though. GX and Rogue. And I almost want to give Rogue more credit because they've been playing well and they're just throwing pretty hard in some of their series. But GX is, I don't know. They've been rough.
What happened? Because they were like middle of the pack towards trying to move towards the top. Yeah. Last split. And now they're just bad, huh?
They're just bad. I think it's the best of BO3 effect, maybe, but you look back, they got 2-0'd by SK yesterday. Or they beat Rogue 2-0, but they got 2-0'd by Vitality, and Vitality hasn't been looking good. They got 2-0'd by Fnatic, so they've taken one series, and it was against Rogue. But yeah, it's GX is kind of fallen from grace. Like I wrote down what the fuck happened to these guys. Like basically bottom of the LEC with Rogue. Yeah. So and some of these other teams, Heretics, Vitality, just not really sure what to make of them yet. Yeah. Not good, but not bad. Or not bad, but not good.
We're not seeing the Nesquik experiment work out yet.
Not yet. Not yet.
Damn.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really just like it depends on the day. It feels like so. Yeah. The only teams that I can solidly say look good are KC, G2, Koi, Fnatic. I mean, can't ever count out Fnatic, and then SK that's probably my top 5 right now.
Wow,
which is weird.
Yeah,
I guess.
I mean, kind of weird, but kind of not. It's like the same top 4 from last split with SK instead of GX, and maybe slightly in a different power ranking order, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the how we get there that's the weird part.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like, I don't think anyone would have had Fnatic losing to SK. I don't think. Well, it's also weird with their scheduling. Not every team has played the same amount of series.
Right.
Like G2's only played 3, but Koi's played 5, I think. So it's kind of like following down the LPL. Gotta
rabbit
format, I guess.
Format.
Where where there's just random BO3s and
interesting.
So, yeah, I don't have much of the LEC. I haven't gotten to watch too much of it, but just based on the results and the games that I have gotten to tune into, feels like that's our top 5 right now, and maybe Rogue is a little better than GX, but still not sure.
So we have
for that bottom 5,
a top 5 that's fairly compelling, and a bottom 5 that we're more or less writing off at this point.
Yeah. Ready to throw away to the wayside here a little bit.
Damn. That's pretty sad.
Yeah,
but
that's
kind of it's kind of how Europe goes.
How
sometimes.
It goes.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. So
no.
But we can move on to some of the regions that I'm a little more confident
Let's
in.
do it. Let's do it.
Know a little bit better.
Yeah.
So LCP hasn't started, so we'll leave them completely out of it.
They haven't started?
No, they haven't started.
We're like weeks into all the other regions and they haven't started yet?
No, they start this weekend,
Good
actually.
Lord, dude. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So LCP's a little behind
Okay.
on that, but excited for them to start up.
Yeah.
Probably going to be CFO Talon, Secret, and who knows who else. But
Cam or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
LCK has been pretty interesting. Going back to that 6-man roster, T1's fully embraced it.
I think fully embraced it might be a bit of a stretch. I think there's a lot of turmoil at T1, and they're trying to appease everyone. And it seems like, from what I've seen online, that Smash is just playing way better than Gumayushi. And there's no real reason they should be playing a 6-man roster except to appease the people that want Gumayushi there.
So here's the thing with that. They played Hanwha Life this past weekend,
Okay.
and they got dumpstered.
Oh,
like
God.
it wasn't even close. Smash was playing too, by the way. So it feels like maybe there's too many cooks in the kitchen with T1. Their picks are all over the place. They try to bring back the double ADCs. Just like they don't look like they're on the same page, and that definitely has to do with all the drama that's going around right now with their team. They played a really, really close 2-1 with the Gumayusi against Gen.G. And Smash's first game back, they played KT, smoked them. I think Smash went like 14-0-6 on Kaisa first game.
Jesus.
But then the next game, they completely went away from that style, or the next match, I guess, against Hanwha Life, completely went away from that style where Smash is the hard carry. And it just felt like they had no answers to Hanwha Life, which was really interesting because you'd think, all this drama around who should be playing ADC, and Coma is pretty heavily backing Smash, right? You'd think that they would try to draft around Smash a little bit better so that he could play his style.
You would think so, yeah.
But they got obliterated by Hanwha Life, and it wasn't close at all. So I'm curious where they want to go from that now, because Guma provides a stable play style, but then Smash can bring that hard carry element, and I think I don't know where they're gonna go with it.
Yeah,
they're not getting much out of the results of these series.
Is it like T1 is in a really awkward place, or is HLE just like really insane, or is it like both?
I think it's a combo of both. HLE definitely had a bit of a first-hand hangover because they got 2-0'd by Gen.G to start the year, but since then they've been on a tear and they look like their normal selves again. But yeah, T1's kind of like during LCK Cup, I thought they were pretty strong. They looked really solid with Smash, and their style is basically player on owner, player on Smash. These guys are going to carry us, right? Haven't seen
Carry
like I've seen that
us. I'm sorry. Go on. I'm sorry. I apologize.
I haven't seen. I've seen it. You're good. You're good. Just don't ever do that again.
Fair. All right, we can move on. Yeah. Owner and Smash. You were saying.
Owner and Smash should be carrying, and I don't know. It feels like they just need some time to maybe get over all this drama that's surrounding their team. T1's kind of been underperforming, I get. Like if you look at that Hanwha Life series, you're like, holy shit, these guys are a bottom 5 team. But
damn,
at the same time, maybe they're just working out their kinks and trying to get things going. On the other hand, HLE looks really solid. Gen.G looks amazing. Both those teams look sick.
Yeah,
right
Gen.G's undefeated, right? They're like 5-0 or something.
Yeah, they've dropped games here and there, but as far as series go, they're undefeated.
Wow.
So those two and D plus Kia have been looking really solid as well. They took a game off Gen.G and had a pretty competitive series versus Gen.G. They brought out some Vex.
Okay.
They brought out that was just weird picks all around. Canyon ended up playing Zed jungle.
Oh, that's right. I saw some discourse online about this because like everyone always wants to play Zed jungle, and then Canyon actually pulled it out. So now all the pro junglers are like, "Look, Canyon did it. I can do it too." So
Yeah, and it was in a dub too, so
that's crazy. I should go back and watch that game. That would be fun to watch.
that D plus Gen G series, really good series.
Okay.
Highly recommend that one.
Okay.
Don't watch the Hanwha Life T1 though.
Okay.
That one was ass.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just a little one-sided. Okay, I'll go back and watch the D plus and Gen G series. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I mean, so those three teams feel like our top three.
Mm.
I know Gen G beat Hanwha Life earlier, but I think Hanwha Life is the best team in LCK. They look pretty nasty right now. It's a pretty close 1A, 1B between HLE and Gen G, with D plus and T1 kind of being a 2A, 2B, I feel like. And then Nongshim is our fifth team, and I think they're way better than the bottom five, but nowhere near the top four.
Interesting.
So they're in this really weird middle ground. Yeah, the rest of the teams have been pretty forgettable, honestly.
I did take a look at the standings, and it seemed like top 4 or 5 teams are looking pretty good, and then the bottom 5 are like 0-5.
Yeah, KT
not winning games.
Yeah, you would think KT would be in the mix a little bit, but they can't even figure out who to put out there. So their roster during LCK Cup was Perfect, Cuz, BDD, Doc Dom, and Wei, I think was his name. Or Hype. Wei. I think it was Wei. So that was their roster. They've completely retooled it. So now they have Casting in the top lane, who is their Challengers top laner.
Right.
They kept Cuz, they kept BDD, but Doc Dom's down in Challengers now, and Wei's down in Challengers, and they have Paddock and Peter now.
So they're just throwing some stuff at the wall until something sticks.
Yeah, pretty much. And I think they've played different rosters almost every series so far.
Good Lord, dude.
Like they started spring split with Perfect, Cuz BDD, and then they still had Doc Dom, but they moved on from Wei. Then they moved on from Doc Dom, and then they moved on from Perfect, and so now it's just a completely retooled roster. And so, yeah, I don't know what to make of them. Doc Dom was not good, and he's still not performing even in Challengers. So probably the better move to pull up Paddock, but at the same time, like, it's just not there for them.
It's just not,
and it's really BDD and Cuz versus the world, and you can only do so much as those two.
Yeah.
So
I have heard that Paddock was playing really well in Challengers. I saw something about that as part of the reason why they moved him up. I mean, it sounds like Duck Dom was not doing the team any favors, but it does sound like Paddock was playing really well in Challengers. So any signs of life from him, or I don't know, thoughts?
They beat Bro, I want to say. I think it was Bro that they just played, and it was a 2-1 close series. So again, still not really sure. It might have been the new team. They got 2-0'd by T1, and that was with Casting in. That was his first game. So this is all within the span of the last week.
Jesus.
So they pulled up Casting and Peter, and then they sent down Doc Dom for their Bro series. And Paddock did look a lot better than Doc Dom.
Okay.
Casting looked solid, and then Peter's Peter. He's the GOAT.
Yeah, that's the boy. That's what's up.
But the KT Challengers team, they were nasty. Like I think they were on a ridiculous 20-something series win streak dating back to last season.
Good Lord.
So
dude.
it seems like it was just a matter of time before these guys got called up.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they can do something with the rest of this split. But right now it feels like roster limbo a little bit here. They don't know who to put out there except for BDD and Cuz. So
crazy.
Yeah. And then DRX has taken a step back. DNF is ass. The only team that's kind of taken a step forward from LCK Cup is BFX. And that's all off the back of Diable their ADC.
Oh yeah, the young
He's-
prodigy, right?
Yeah, he's been gross. He's actually
Yeah.
been really sick. Yeah.
Dude, someone get that guy a real
him-
team.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, they've been taking some wins here and there. I think they're 2-2 on the split
Oh,
right now.
okay.
So they went defeated in LCK Cup, or winless, I guess, in LCK Cup, and
that
now
was
they're
the
looking.
best way you could have said that. Instead of undefeated, they went completely defeated.
Yeah. Yeah, they got smoked in LCK Cup. They're looking a lot better now. Vikla looks a lot better.
Oh, I forgot he was on that team.
Yeah. Clear and Raptor look decent, but it really is. It feels like Diable is like he's their guy.
Okay.
Type of aggression that you kind of only see from some of the best ADCs. So
Pretty sweet.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah.
And then bro, most inconsistent team.
The God Slayers that also lose
challenge.
to everyone else.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not much to say about those guys. They started the split. They called up Elim over Hambach, but then they brought Hambach back. This is a lot of roster moves trying to see, I think, for these bottom teams, trying to see what fits and what works. Because Nongshim, I guess, is the best example of it working, right? So everyone's trying to copy the Nongshim formula, but no one's been able to really replicate it so far.
I mean, but Nongshim also has the top
Kingin and Lehens.
Yeah. I was gonna say they got a couple of world champs on their roster too. So it's
a little bit of a different. But I mean, at the same time, like Fisher, Gideon, Jiwoo, those guys were nobodies before, and they've really stepped up in their own right. So I think a lot of these teams are just waiting for that evolution for some of these young guys.
Yeah.
But not getting it.
Not getting
i.e. like KT and Bro and DRX and DN Freaks are both kind of old man homes. So
dude, rest in peace Berserker. I thought that guy was gonna go run the LCK, and instead DNF is terrible. Did not finish.
Yeah. I don't think they ever will finish. So yeah.
Are they even in the race?
No, they are far from it. Like, if you were to ask me who the best or the worst team in LCK is, and I was a KDF homer last season.
Oh no!
I would tell you DNF this season.
No.
Yeah.
Damn. Sad.
So
sad day.
Yeah. And the pieces aren't bad. They have Pioshik, they have Berserker, they have Life, they have Bulldog and Doodoo. Yeah.
Dude, that doesn't sound like a bad team.
It doesn't sound bad at all, right? But they just can't figure it out for some reason. I don't know what it is.
That's crazy.
Their wins, their one win a series that they sometimes get. It's a dominant win, but everything else is so forgettable from those guys.
That's
and
crazy.
DRX too, like they looked really solid during LCK Cup. Very forgettable now. I don't know what it is. UCal hasn't looked the same. Sponge was like, he took a step up during LCK Cup, stepped down so far. Teddy hasn't looked Teddy hasn't looked the best either. So
it's crazy the players that you see on these bottom rosters in the LCK, like Teddy, UCal, and like Pioshik, Berserker. I mean, like that whole DRX roster, or not DRX, DNF roster, like that all sounds pretty decent. Like Doodoo is often talked about as like an underrated top laner in the LCK, like actually really solid. I don't know, just like that whole roster really does not sound bad.
It doesn't sound like 10th place in the LCK, and that's where they're sitting.
Yeah.
And when you compare it to BFX roster of Clear, Raptor, Vikla, Diable, and Kellen, it's like, how are these guys not last, right? But
that's actually crazy.
It's really just been teams showing up at the right times, and a lot of teams just not playing to their potential. I feel like maybe it's just a draft / coaching diff for some of these guys.
Yeah,
we're seeing a lot of that in the LPL actually. So,
is that a segue I hear?
It is a segue. LPL's been bangers only, bro. LPL's been so fun. I'm not gonna lie. That's been the one region that I'm tuning into the most. I
Okay,
feel like
talk to me.
it's really all over the place, man. Like I don't even know where to start because it's so all over the place.
Start at the top, work
Yeah.
your way down.
So, this I don't even have a top team for you right now
Oh,
because there's
really?
so many top teams and everyone's beating everyone. So it's really weird.
Okay.
BLG top esports are no longer the domestic giants.
Wow.
They look solid, don't get me wrong, but BLG has taken a huge step back, I feel like.
Okay.
Or other teams have taken pretty big leaps forward.
Sure.
But BLG got 2-0'd by JDG a couple nights ago. They've had some pretty solid series.
Wow.
I guess it's so going back to like the draft coaching diff, like we saw when BLG played JDG, Knight playing Azir, and he just cannot play Azir for the life of him. And then Wei just, I don't know what's up with this guy, but he just hasn't looked on the same page with anyone else on their team. It's really been the Bin and Elk show.
Dang.
When they do win. But really all over the rest of the region, it's a lot of other teams stepping up. So, JDG's looked really solid. Guys like Ala, guys like Shun have been really stepping up. But then Pays he's definitely found his comfort
Okay.
in
Talk
LPL.
to me more about Pays. Okay. Pays, he's the GOAT.
He kind of is, bro. He kind of is. Okay, maybe not like the GOAT. Because, okay, here's the kicker. Guess what team is turning heads all over the place? And it's a team that we talked about last year for a completely different reason.
Oh, is it IG?
Well,
is it my boys?
Okay, same reason, but the reasoning why they're doing well is completely different.
Oh, I have no idea. Tell me.
FPX.
Oh, really?
FPX took down JDG and Weibo.
Do they still have Milky Way?
They don't have Milky Way.
No way.
So that's why I'm saying completely different reasoning.
What is their roster?
So they have someone top.
Somebody.
Okay, I'll pull it up.
Yeah.
Oh, and they have Sheer. I'm so dumb.
Oh, yeah.
Sheer's actually been really solid for them. He's just been like this absolute sponge for them.
Okay.
Like, doesn't matter how he does in lane, but he'll be the tank come late game.
Okay.
And that's the thing with FPX. They've been playing a lot of late games. They've been taking a lot of really long games, and somehow they're pulling it out in the end. Shadow is their Milky Way this year.
No,
he's been gross,
way, dude.
Yeah,
Shadow. Wait, this is the same Shadow that came over from LEC, right?
Did he?
Hold up.
I see. For me, it was just like a hodgepodge mix of guys.
I gotta look this up on my phone.
I tuned into the Weibo FPX series, and they kind of dumpstered Weibo. I'm not gonna lie.
Dude, yes. Wait, what the? Dude, this guy was on Mad Lions in 2019. Shadow was on Mad Lions before they were. I think it was before they got good. But he was in Europe, and then he came over to the LPL. He went on to LGD, and then he was on NIP, and then he was on LNG. And all three was during the splits when those teams were terrible. So he was bottom feeding in the LPL for, I guess, 3 years. And now he's on this FPX roster.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, so he's been low-key smurfing.
Hell yeah, dude.
Actually, I'm trying to even just find his goal.
What's his I'm trying to find their
They have him down as an Italian on goal.gg.
Is he really? Is he Italian? There's no way.
They have an Italian flag next to his name.
Country of birth, Italy.
What
nationality? Chinese. So he is Chinese, but he's Italian.
Yeah.
Or he was born in Italy.
He's born in Italy, but he's Chinese.
Okay, yeah, that's what I said it backwards. That's crazy.
But look at their goal and look at their last 5 games. Their wins have all come in games that are 34 plus minutes. Some of them more towards the 40-minute mark. And
Jeez, dude.
I don't know if that's their bread and butter. The rest of their team is Care, Assam, and who's their support?
Hasn't Care been on FPX for like forever now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Care's been on there for a minute. Jue's been actually really solid. Wait, is it Jue? I'm pretty sure it's Jue. But FPX has been this like sleeper, run of the mill, no idea what to make of these guys team for a while, and here they are taking down some of the giants of the LPL in somewhat convincing fashion.
That's nice.
Which is crazy. Like they've even taken some, they've taken games off top teams and finished it as well.
Win versus.
So that was the big thing
JDG
to
in
start.
38 minutes, 40 minutes, 39 minutes. Yeah, you work at 44 minutes.
Yeah.
All
so their wins are like long ass games. So whatever they're doing, they drag it out.
Yeah.
It's crazy to see this team of not no names, but guys that you would not expect to be running LPL by any means, or at least competing with the likes of Weibo or JDG.
Yeah.
And to actually finish the job, that was the problem at the beginning of the split with them, was they would take a game and then, get reverse swept. But now they're actually closing it out. And that's something to take note of. They're definitely trending upwards. They're playing with a lot of confidence. And I think this meta is really solid for them.
Dude,
I don't know what it is, but this like hyper carry jungle meta has been really good.
Man, I'll tell you, it will not take much to get me on the Shadow hype train. It would be sick to see that guy do well in the LPL.
Yeah, and he is like right now. It's really, the group Ascend is such a mix. I think the only teams that you can solidly put at the bottom are Team WE and TT. TT's really taken a step back from LCK Cup, and I've seen a lot of people attribute that to the lack of lane swaps now.
What was TT doing in the LCK Cup?
Oh, sorry. You know what I meant. LPL Split 1. Whatever they call it. Yeah. TT, I mean, they took down BLG, right? In the LPL, but that was like their one fluky game. On paper, they're not terrible. TT's always been a pretty middle of the pack team.
Yeah.
And I know we were saying, all they needed was Satab from DRX, right? But
I remember that.
I think they need a little bit more.
Okay.
More than that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just all across the board, it's been just wild. Nip took down IG a couple nights ago, so you can never count out Nip. IG is hit or miss, fun as fuck. Both Nip and IG and AL, so fun as teams.
Yeah.
But IG and Nip, it feels like kind of coin flippy. Like you don't know what type of team you're gonna get out of them.
Yeah.
Until that day, but you're getting a banger series no matter what out of those teams.
It seems like those have got to be like the three most entertaining teams, right? IG, NIP, and AL. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They're just like balls to the wall, nonstop action the whole time.
That's
AL's been it's been a top A diff, I want to say. Like their drafts have been unreal, and his vision for the team, what he tells the team is working. Like it's working really well. Everyone just looks on the same page. Shanks looks unreal. Hope looks unreal. Kyle looks sick, and then obviously Tarzan and Flandre also just unreal.
Yeah,
as well.
Jeez.
So they're a team to watch. Like I could go down the list and say they're a team to watch for the top 8 of the LPL.
That's so sick.
And that's what's crazy.
That's what makes the LPL such a fun region. Is you have like their top half of I mean, like they have 17 teams, so you have like an entire region worth of good teams, which is that's sick. That's so cool.
Yeah, the entire group of Sand, like, I'm just going down the list. BLG is like inconsistent, right? But they're still BLG.
Still
like
BLG.
Top esports, domestic giants maybe, but they're losing as well to certain teams in the LPL, so it's not like they're untouchable.
Yeah.
Anyone's legend, they lost to top esports, but they're smoking everybody else. And they play such a run and gun, just like boom, 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 boom type of style.
That's so sick.
It's rare to see them have less than 20 kills in a game, like for their own team,
Crazy.
IG and Nip kind of feel like they're interchangeable too, where it's like you don't know what team you're gonna get, but you know that there's such veteran presence on these teams and the players on the team. Well, IG mainly is the veteran presence, but Doinby also for Nip has been like a pillar for those guys. But coin flippy, you don't know what you're gonna get out of those guys, but it's gonna be entertaining. JDG, quite honestly, looks like a top 4 team. Like if I'm being completely honest. They've been playing really well, but at the same time, you have a team like FPX who's really just flipping the table.
Yeah.
And you don't know what to make of anything now. And Weibo is, you can never count those guys out when you look on their paper or roster on paper, right? But they just haven't looked good.
Huh.
Like, I think I was hyped because Light pulled out Aphelios, and that was the worst Aphelios game I'd ever seen. And he played that against FPX.
Oh, no.
I don't think I saw him hit a single R. I think he went 0 for 7 on ours and just could not scale. Yeah, it was bad. And it was like bad misses, too.
Gross.
Yeah. And then, TTWE, fraudulent a little bit. I think TT's definitely better than WE. And it's crazy because TT took down FPX at the start of the split. That's their only win of the split so far. But looking at current form, not it. And then I don't even have anything to say about these guys because they just shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Oh no!
Yeah, they won out in a tiebreaker, I think, against LGD or Ultra Prime, and it's crazy to want to say that Ultra Prime or LGD deserve to be there ahead of Team WE, but WE has not looked good either.
Damn. So is anyone from the bottom? So it's Ascend and Nirvana, right? Is that what they're doing?
So it's 10-6.
10-6. Is anyone from Nirvana like worth paying attention to?
I think the only 2 are LGD and Ultra Prime.
Okay.
And it sounds crazy, but they were also the best 2 teams during the placements and during the the group stage that they had.
Gotcha.
At least in my opinion, they're the only ones that actually hung in there a little bit. I think Ultra Prime took down AL in one of the games.
Oh, wow.
So it's can't count them out completely, but
yeah.
The rest of them, OMG, EDG, RNG, and LNG. Crazy.
That's such a crazy bottom 4. EDG, RNG, LNG, and OMG. Having those bottom 4, first of all, that's way too many G's. That's a headache. But having those 4 legacy orgs be bottom 4, that's crazy. So who are the 2 that are done for the entire year after this split? Who is it?
I want to say it's gonna be EDG and LNG, but it's really hard to tell. It's a little too early because what they've been doing is the group Nirvana teams haven't been playing. I think they played their first couple series this past weekend or the last few days. But Ascend's been going for 3 weeks.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah. Dude,
so LPL, I'm not even going to try to understand. They just do their own thing.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an absolute banger of a region right now, and I don't know how I want to even power rank some of these teams right now because it's so up in the air. Anyone can beat anyone, and I feel like the bottom 4, maybe for Group Ascend, would be Weibo, TTWE, and FPX.
Okay.
But at the same time, FPX is trending up so hard.
Yeah.
And the rest of the teams are really interchangeable. It's just way too much talent in LPL. Yeah. It's crazy.
That's so sick. I mean,
yeah,
you are making me want to watch more LPL. I'll be honest.
I feel like you could just, close your eyes and, stick your hand in a hat and pick any series, and you're getting a good series out of it.
That's sick.
So
that's sick. Well,
completely different identities too from all the different, all the teams have their own identity, and
really,
you see it come out in how, one style is better in a certain matchup, right? Like FPX's style seemed to work against Weibo's super slow pace style because FPX is just go the whole time, wait to scale. And you have guys like JDG playing against BLG, and they play such a tactical chess match, right? But that tactical chess match doesn't work against a team like FPX as well in JDG's case, right?
That's pretty cool. It's cool to see like the very pronounced different styles and having them certain styles counter each other and not work against other teams, you know?
Yeah.
That's sick.
I mean, it's nuts how like a JDG style is good enough to beat BLG 2-0, not good enough to beat FPX, you know?
Yeah.
Or a style like Invictus Gaming. They also play like a go super scrappy style, right? Barely works out against FPX, doesn't work at all against NIP. You know, it's
right.
like it's crazy. Like there's so much interchangeability, and like anyone's legend, their identity is pretty set. You know, the most scrappy team, I think, by far. Works against almost everyone except for top esports. You know, so it's like, where do you even put all these teams? You never know until we get to playoffs. And I think that, like I said, it's like the coaching diff. Whoever shows up that day and drafts better usually has a better chance of taking it, because that FPX Weibo series that I was talking about, that was in my mind 100% draft gap, but then also just a hands gap too.
Really? That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That's toughy. That's a head scratcher.
Yeah, and so I know I'm putting a microscope a bit on like certain teams, but it's really when you zoom out and look at the full picture, it's like throw darts and, you know, who knows.
Close your eyes and throw a dart at a board and see where it lands. Yeah. So we're really good at this whole sayings thing. Historically,
we're
really
great.
Yeah.
I think we're good for like one
correct one. Yeah, per episode, maybe. Yeah, the rest of them are just like, what the hell are you even saying? Anyways.
Yeah, LPL's been the banger region. If you're gonna tune in, also shout out to LPL English for their broadcast, because there isn't an official stream,
right?
For LPL, and they've been killing it. There's a bunch of people over there putting in the work. A lot of them are from America, so there are a lot of late nights, early mornings for them to cast these games and put on a production for it. But you know, LPL itself has just been so entertaining, and
yeah,
I've really fallen in love with the play styles over there. It's just you know, balls to the wall, run and gun, or it's like a tactical chess match where like one wrong move is, you know, that's the game, that's the series. So
is LPL taking Worlds this year?
It depends on what teams make it. I think there's a lot of like really, really, really interesting teams. Like I think if AL goes, they're gonna wipe the floor with a lot of teams just with their style. It's just so unprecedented.
Interesting.
I mean, like BLG can play that chess match style. TS plays that chess match type of style, but a team like AL, a team like IG, where it's like veteran presence, a team like NIP, where they're so like mid, like Doinby is like the coach in the game,
right.
So it's like, you know, there's that, and then, you know, you have sleeper teams like FPX who, you know, I don't see them going in international or anything, but like, who knows? Like the way that they're trending, they might be able to go on some type of Cinderella run here.
That would be cool.
Make some headlines, but
I mean, I would be happy to see like IG, AL, NIP at internationals, but really, I'll just be happy to see anyone but TES. So, pretty much, give me anything other than that, and I'll be pretty happy.
There's a pretty good chance you'll at least get 50% of that. I think TES is still a domestic giant. They're kind of a team that everyone has to get through if they want to go to an international. Kind of the gatekeepers of internationals.
Cringe.
But you know, there's so many other teams that are in the mix now, you know.
Yeah.
So do I think LPL is going to win international, MSI or Worlds?
Maybe.
I lean towards no. I honestly think like HLE and Gen G are just that good right now.
Jesus, dude.
It's just so hard though to compare the two styles, because that type of style that AL plays might turn Genji, might turn Hanwha Life on its head. But at the same time, it's a very snowbally type of style, right? So if they don't get it going, Genji and HLE it's an easy win. So
All right, you heard it here first. HLE Golden Road. Just two dudes with correct opinions.
yeah. Correct opinions, because you know that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, LPL's been banger. LCK's been fun.
Yeah.
LTA's been
Dead.
Cool, I guess.
Cool, I guess.
And LEC's been
a mess.
A mess. Yeah.
Yeah.
So not much has changed over the past year.
So welcome back to League of Legends for another year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else.
Me neither. I got nothing. I'm just here with my little orange stress ball. Just
I was wondering. I
was
like, this guy just throwing around a tangerine or what?
No, I found this thing in my closet. I got this for free in college. It's like from Chapman.
What? Yeah. Why do I feel like I've gotten one of those too?
You probably have.
I probably have.
It's legit in orange too. Like
yeah,
but it's like a stress ball, right?
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
That's it.
I got nothing else.
Yeah. Genji probably gonna win LCK this year. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
And G2 probably gonna win LEC.
Yeah.
FlyQuest probably gonna win LTA.
Yeah.
LPL, any of the top 7, 8 teams could win it.
FPX.
In my mind. FPX, fuck it. FPX is winning.
Fuck it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all I got.
I say we just call it there.
Okay.
Call it there. Yeah.
Here's our socials.
They're on this, probably on the screen now. Thanks for tuning in. Sorry we were late again, but we're gonna keep chugging away. Keep plugging away. I don't know.
Plugging, chugging,
plugging and chugging. Thanks for watching.